Hi guys and welcome to Throzone.com. This is Mohit Soni. What is in front of you is the Aprilia SR125, the sportiest scooter of the lot. There has been a lot of scooters in the Indian market in the 125cc space, but they've always been on the commuter side when it comes to design, when it comes to practicality, and when it comes to performance as well. Nobody's been that committed to sporty riding, to sporty looks like the Aprilia has been with the SR125. The SR125 came at a time when the SR150 was introduced, took the market by storm, and then the 160 came in, and then the 125 came in to make things more affordable. Sadly, the affordability part has died down ever since, because regulatory changes, safety mandates have made the scooters very expensive. This scooter here costs 1,40,000 rupees on road in Bombay. It has an average ex-showroom price of 1,23,000 rupees throughout the country. That's what the website says, and that is a very expensive scooter for a 125. But like I said in the beginning, there is nobody been as good, as dedicated, as sporty to sporty riding, sporty looks like the Aprilia SR125. Let's begin with the design. It is largely unchanged over the 2021 model, which was introduced in November 2021, and November 2022 was, a couple of months later, we showed you what the scooters were like with the BS6. This is the BS6 Phase 2 version with the OBD2 port. Nothing much has changed, but Aprilia has made sure that they've made a lot of changes to the engine, despite just by not just putting OBD2 port. It's got an iGate system as well on the engine. By the time I finish, I start talking about the riding part, I would have put in almost 200 kilometers on the scooter. Right now we've only done 50-70 and spent some days with it to understand what the design is, what the features are and what is exactly on offer. So let's begin with the design. What you can see is a familiar looking V-shape headlamp here, which looks really nice. The LED DRL placement is also fantastic. You've got a sticker here, in true Aprilia form. It's genuine 100% Aprilia racing, and you've got all these stickers here as well, and again the side profile is also the same. And that is what I was wanted to tell you. This is the new iGate technology that you get with this scooter. Green experience technology is what Aprilia likes to call it. At the back you get a let me just start the scooter for you and show you how the lights are. That is the X-shaped tail lamp that continues to be the same. Build quality actually feels quite good, quite solid. It's almost there. In this segment it is actually quite good. And you've got the carbon finish here as well. Just let me show you the lights, how they look like. The illumination and spread is actually good. It's not downright brilliant, but it does the job, that's for sure. And you've got the piano black finish here, the step in the seat here, and surprisingly Aprilia still hasn't integrated the boot lock here. It is still opened from here the old school way. And you've got a light here, you've got an USB port here, which makes things more convenient for everyday basis. The fuel cap is on offer. It's not on the outside, it's still on the inside. So Aprilia is too dedicated to the sporty part. They're not fixing the practicality aspects, and this here also is a little on the inside, just like the SXR, and it is a bit cumbersome to use at times. Obviously this is something like other things you will get used to. And this is the digital instrument cluster that we saw back then. It continues to be the same. The mode button controls everything. You've got battery voltage, fuel efficiency, distance to empty, odometer, speedometer, tachometer. Got a pass light function in the high beam button itself. So it is now pretty much loaded. This is one of the big requirements that was from the customer, that we need a digital instrument cluster. So Aprilia worked on it. They gave it in the 2021 update. So that's really nice to see, and we're seeing that it is also Aprilia Connect ready. So you can connect your phone to your at least you can download the app and connect the scooter and see all host of features that are on offer with the Aprilia Connect. I'll do a separate video on that soon. That is the starter button there, and everything else remains the same. Traditional, typical Aprilia palm grips are on offer. And like I said, the step seats, they are really nice, padded, not too soft, not too hard, so they do a job really well. I showcased you what the boot space is like. It's just about okay. Let me just show it to you again. It takes time to open it because of its old school way. The boot is still quite small, and again this is something on the practicality aspect that Aprilia needs to now work on. They've delivered a very nice facelift, but it needs to work on more practicality features as well. You've got this grab rail which looks really nice. Overall fit finish is good and great in certain areas, and quality of course is pretty much the same as before. There's hardly any change. It feels robust enough, it feels solid enough, and it can go through a lot because the suspension on the scooter makes the robustness test very easy because the way it's been tuned. How it's been tuned and how is it like to ride with the new engine, let's find out. So what is the Aprilia SR 125 like to ride? Well, it gets a new iGet engine, which is called Green Engine technology by Aprilia, and it is seen on the 125cc scooter. It largely remains the same. It still gets a 3-valve tech. It now makes 9.97 bhp of power and 9.7 newton meters of torque. The power and torque are down by 0.5 and 0.6 respectively, and what that has done is improve the fuel efficiency a bit. We've been getting between 38 and 40 kilometers to the liter, and with almost 6 liters of fuel you can get 220 to 40 kilometers of range from a single tank. When compared to an electric scooter, which is all the hype now, this actually is going to be slightly more convenient because you can fill it up in 10 minutes and you get a full tank, is able to return around 240-250 kilometers, and that is very impressive for a scooter that is fun to ride, and you will be riding it full throttle and enjoying the scooter because it's much more calmer and smoother than before. The refinement levels have gone higher. It isn't loud and brash anymore. It is brash but not very loud, so the characterfulness has been maintained by Aprilia to a very large extent, which is a great move. And in terms of pickup and performance, well, it's been doing 90 kilometers quite easily. This is a brand new scooter that we have here. It's barely done 100 kilometers as we are reviewing it right now, and what that is showing us is that the refinement is great. The tires are also coping up quite well. The brakes are quite good, and the brakes and tires also need to adjust with the new scooter or new two-wheeler that comes off the showroom. Takes time to settle in. Despite that, it's been showing good promise here when it comes to grip and braking. In fact, the ride quality also has improved on the SR 125. Me and my colleague who had tested the Aprilia extensively in the past immediately realized that the ride quality at the front and at the back is definitely much better than before, but it still has that hard edge, the stiff edge that is always had over all other rivals. So it still feels quite stiff, but definitely much compliant than before. So Aprilia has again tried to maintain that characterful nature in the engine as well as in the suspension to make sure that you get that fun to ride nature. The throttle action, I think, has also become a bit shorter. That is the reason why you're getting good pickup. Of course, when the throttle action is shorter, you do get good pickup, and I think that is the case here as well. It doesn't feel loud and brash when you're doing it like in the past. It feels calm. At the same time, it's pulling ahead, so that makes it much easier and calmer to live with on a daily basis. Like I said, the fuel efficiency has gone up, so the Aprilia SR 125 has matured to a certain extent while maintaining its characterful and playful nature that it has always had. So the update is in the right direction indeed. Apart from that, the handling, of course, is good. In the corners, it is quite stable. It's very agile also in the corners. Turning it is great because the wheelbase is also quite short, and highway stability is good. The front end can feel a bit floaty, but I guess it's a brand new scooter with brand new tires. I think if it develops more grip, that should get better, because last time I remember my trip from Pune to Bombay on an SR 160, which is pretty much similar to this scooter, and I did not encounter anything at the front, no floatiness throughout the Pune Bombay trip on a scooter. So this is something that will get better, but you should know about it as well, because riders with different weights and different riding styles can feel different, and a test ride will also help you make the right decision. But overall, it is very stable. There's no denying that. The brakes and tires are also coping up quite well. Despite new, I'm sure they will get better as this particular scooter here clocks in more kilometers with us. And that is what the ride and handling is, right? That is what the engine is, and like I explained earlier, what the design and features and practicalities offer. Let's talk about the verdict. Let me put all my thoughts together and tell you what my verdict is. So what is my verdict on the Aprilia SR 125? Let's begin with the 125cc scooter category altogether. They were made, and especially in the Aprilia aspect, is that when the 150 came in, then the 160 came in, and then when the 125 was required to come in to make it more affordable, that's when the SR 125 made a lot of sense, because it was an affordable sporty scooter for the masses, and it had good fuel efficiency over the SR 160 and 150, and it made a lot of sense. The 125cc category now altogether is become a bit more expensive. The on-road price for the SR 125 is almost 1,40,000 rupees. The average ex-showroom price across India is 1,23,000 rupees. So that's a lot of money for a 125cc scooter. It doesn't become quite value because the competitors are around the same segment as well. With the SR 125 though, it doesn't have the practicality aspects. It's not very convenient scooter. It's not your everyday scooter. It is a very focused sporty scooter. The way it looks, the way it rides, and the things that it offers, so all of that money what you're paying for is fantastic ride and handling. Like I said, it's become a bit more comfortable than before. It's become much more refined than before, so you are getting a good amount of for your money. The convenience, a small bit of them is still missing, but you are getting a good quality scooter, and that has been refined for the year 2023. So I'm sure a lot of niggles that were there with the previous scooter have been sorted, and this becomes an actually quite a scooter even today. The SR 125 and its sporty riding avatar, the way it rides is very sporty, so it will garner attention, and it should garner your attention, because there is nothing like this in this segment. Everything else, the TVS Ntorq also is the best of both worlds. This is sporty without hurting you anymore. Back in the day, the suspension was harsh, and the engine was loud. It's now all of it is there somewhere, but it's easier to live with now. So that is why the SR 125 becomes a very good scooter to be considered in this segment, and we're looking forward to spending more time with this scooter. And the 2023 scooters have gotten quite a big update in the engine, so we'll also ride the 160 and tell you more about it. Right now, if you are on a budget, you're looking for a 125cc scooter, you don't care about convenience, you are a young young person or going to college or school or something like that, you want a scooter which is sporty, which stands out, you can go for the Aprilia SR 125, and you won't regret, because it looks unique, and it rides differently, and it provides that thrill of riding that you associate with Aprilia. It's there in the Aprilia SR 125. It's there in every other Aprilia product. It is there even on this 1.4 lakh rupee scooter. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you like, share and subscribe. Follow us on our social media and website for everyday updates. Until then, goodbye.